What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about a rumor/leak that we have some television shows coming from some very, very popular games. And I'll be honest, there's all this talk of movies, gaming movies, gaming TV shows. These two stand out to me as ones that I will really, I think, hopefully enjoy, and I think could honestly be really, really good and help the brand. I think that's probably one of the most important things and why Square Enix. So I'll spoil that right away. Although you've seen the title, so you know what this is. So what is this? Final Fantasy VII Remake, to be more specific, and Kingdom Hearts. Now, we've heard Kingdom Hearts before. This is actually the second time I remember, I personally, maybe it's been more than two times, but personally that I remember this Kingdom Hearts rumor. So, Square Enix is reportedly collaborating with Netflix in making of an anime dedicated to Final Fantasy VII Remake, with new story elements that will connect to the base game's storyline. In addition, it seems that Square Enix's plans also include an anime series dedicated to Kingdom Hearts, probably coming out of Disney+. This last part I don't really get. These sources should come from a source within the marketing department of Square Enix America. So I don't know if that's saying that it does come from Square Enix America, but if you go to each of the things, it says both projects will be directed by Nomura. The anime dedicated to Final Fantasy VII Remake will tell new stories that will intertwine with the plot and events of the main game. The first section will be dedicated to the events that precede the story of VII's remake, while the second section will be dedicated to the events that occur simultaneously with the events of the game, coming to an end and also anticipating something for the future. While the Kingdom Hearts anime will be much shorter, but definitely more complex as Kingdom Hearts is, made entirely in CG. According to the description, it will combine multiple events from multiple games, such as Union X, Birth by Sleep, and even Kingdom Hearts 3. So, I mean, look, we don't know for sure if this is true, because at the same time that they say all this stuff, and it does sound right, and it sounds very, very believable, I don't understand that last part. These sources should come from a source. So, like, are they saying that they don't believe it unless it comes from a source within the department, or are they saying that that's where they believe this came from? But again, I've heard the Kingdom Hearts one before, so I do think there's something to that. And removing ourselves from that just for a second, like, it makes complete sense, right? I personally think this is exactly what you should be doing if you are Square Enix and if you're in this position. Final Fantasy VII, or Final Fantasy in general, is not as convoluted or as crazy. I mean, it definitely is crazy, but it's not as confusing. It's not all over the place as Kingdom Hearts is. And I'm not saying, by the way, that that's some massive negative, because honestly, it kind of is what makes Kingdom Hearts special in a lot of ways, right? So, I think for Final Fantasy, the way they're doing it makes sense. You have a world with 7's remake that a lot of people are very into, and really, I should say 7, right? Because you have all the original people, and not everybody has been sold on the new games. Not everybody thinks they're all that amazing, but look, they've sold insanely well. They're getting a lot of new people that have never played Final Fantasy ever before, which is very important, and also never played Final Fantasy VII before. And in fact, I'm one of them. Now, I'm not the first part. I have played other Final Fantasy games, but like here and there. I wouldn't call myself like a diehard fan. But honestly, from this point on, I'm in. I'm playing, I'll play any 7 part, that comes out, part 2, part 3, part 4. I'll do that. I'll be playing Final Fantasy 16. Now, I did play 15, so I guess that's where my kind of love for the franchise first came in. But you have all these new people. Basically, that's what I'm saying. You do have a lot of people that have been with the franchise a long time, and I'm not discounting anybody. I know probably some of you guys that are watching this video, you guys have been part of that, but you have a lot of people that are brand new. And Netflix, I mean, come on, right? There's a lot of people on Netflix, and you have to think about that backwards too, right? Where it's going to be like, if people watch this on Netflix, they may have a console, and they may say, oh shoot, I can now play, maybe I want to continue for where the story leaves off, and I want to play the game. So that makes sense. And the Kingdom Hearts one, that makes sense too. Now, that one doesn't have, it seems like a direction that it's going. So Final Fantasy VII, the way they describe it, at least, whether it's true or not, the way to describe it is really a helping piece to the game. So, like, it's going to give additional backstory. It'll show things that are happening in that universe from, like, a different perspective or different characters, and while we're doing stuff in the game. So, like, it's going to only help, I would say, build the world that we've already started to establish or people have started to play. Kingdom Hearts doesn't really seem to have, like, a direct, like, a heading, based off of what they said. But I'm sure anything they do will be like, here's the thing with Kingdom Hearts, no matter what it is, even if it's 5 minutes long, even if it's literally recycling cutscenes from those games and then adding one new one that's like a minute long, it'll still be important. I mean, the biggest evidence to that is really Remind and Melody of Memory, as well as, I guess, some of the spin-off games that some people don't take as seriously, but I wouldn't say the hardcore fans, right? Because hardcore fans, we have at least watched all of it. But Kingdom Hearts, Remind is 80% the same exact game, and then around 45 to an hour of additional cutscenes that are new. And, like, you need to watch it at least, if not play it, for that amount. Otherwise, you're missing out on crucial Kingdom Hearts lore and information. Melody of Memory is literally a recap game, just in a rhythm game, but then the ending has roughly 12 to 15 minutes of new cutscenes. Those are very important to the future of Kingdom Hearts. You know what I mean? So no matter what it is, and I don't know how many episodes it would be on Disney Plus or what it even would be, but whatever it is, it would be important to watch. Like, you can't skip it. And having the Union X or Union Cross, right? I actually really like that, because that's a game that is maybe more important, especially now in the Kingdom Hearts lore, more important to know about now than ever before. And, like, that's a mobile game. I've never played it. So anything that I know about, I've just gotten from explanation videos or people, or like cutscenes and stuff like that, or not even cutscenes, because there's not really the way they do it like that. But it's very important. So if they want to make it somewhat of a important recap one, where you take some scenes here and there and then you do some brand new stuff, honestly, that would be fine. I like, again, Final Fantasy, you'd be expanding the universe. Kingdom Hearts, I guess you technically are expanding the universe, but it's more like required reading. Like, you would need to watch that Kingdom Hearts show, which is how they get Kingdom Hearts fans always, you know what I mean? So hopefully these are real. I honestly feel like they are. I really do believe that. With Kingdom Hearts, we've heard it before, and the Final Fantasy thing makes sense. We've seen more and more games go to TV shows or go to movies, so I would not be shocked whatsoever if this was true. And I think, honestly, it works really well for the both of them. So let me know, guys, in the comments below, what do you think? Would you watch these shows? Which one would you be more excited for? Do you think they're necessary? Let me know, as always, in the comments below. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on. I do a brand new video on this channel every single day, and so I hope to see you guys for tomorrow's video.